Good morning, everybody. It is day 100 for myself being on the Appalachian Trail this year. And this is what the trail looks like. Coming out of 501 yesterday, we did 15 miles to get to Eagle's Nest Shelter. And Buzz thinks about half of those miles were rocky where you had to watch your feet. I think about like a couple of those miles were rocky where you had to watch your feet. But I mean, I was kind of messing around with my cell phone while I was walking anyways, so I kicked a lot of rocks. So there may have been rocks, I just wasn't paying attention to them. Walking into Port Clinton today, going to go to the barber shop and try my best not to get a haircut or shave, because you know that kind of defeat the purpose of having a beard, right? No. Enjoying the trail so far. Got lots of ideas in my head running around right now. Still need to focus on the rest of the trail, these 900 more miles, but we'll get them done and then we'll figure other stuff out. Today is a sad day, sad for me at least. Buzz is probably happy. Buzz is hopping off the trail for a while. He's flying back up to Alaska tomorrow, I think. Yeah, Friday. By a couple different airports, but he's getting on all the way back up to Alaska. He's got, family matters to, put his seal of approval on, and, other things to take care of in Alaska. And then he's got a bike race he's looking forward to. And if he gets back on the trail this year, we'll see. Stay in touch, Buzz. And then, it might be next year before he finishes it up. But we won't see much of Buzz anymore after today. So bye bye, Buzz. Buzz has some family in Allentown that is graciously picking us up today in Port Clinton, giving us a shower, laundry, and a place to stay for the night. And they're gonna throw me back on the trail tomorrow morning. Very gracious of them. Thank you, Dr. Martin, Dr. Amy, and
And
Anna?
Anna's their daughter.
And Anna, their daughter. So yeah, it's going to be a good day. The terrain in the book, pretty flat line, and we've been walking on this for a while, and we'll keep walking on this. No complaints here. And then we have I really don't want to call it a descent into Port Clinton, because it's more of like a plummet, but it's in the last mile heading into Port Clinton. It really just drops off. So sure, there'll be lots of stone steps and rocks there, so we'll get some footage of that later today. Oh, I texted Miko the other day, found out where she's at. She's a couple days behind. So if she can catch up, that's awesome. like to hike with her again. She's a great person, but I'm not really gonna slow down and wait for a hiker to catch up. So, Miko, catch up. No, not really. Not really. That was a joke. We'll see how things plays out. You know, weather conditions and terrain may slow one of us down or speed the other one of us up. It was a rock. Slept in my hammock last night, and this morning it was a bit chilly, which probably wasn't, you know, any colder than it was the last 2 nights, but I don't know, just felt it. You know, decided to switch to a hammock because it was getting warmer and I wasn't sleeping comfortable in the shelter, so I'm sleeping, you know, better in a hammock, I think. I don't know, I'm usually asleep most of the time, so I really can't, you know, check on myself. But it is a bit chilly in the morning when you wake up. Well, hopefully this you know, 40-50 degree weather will just, you know, kind of go away here in a minute, and I'll get back to warmer nights. Alright, here's a little view. We're a couple miles out of Port Clinton. It started drizzling on us, so we're not going to do rain gear, but we did put on our pack covers. But we're not sticking around here long because it is drizzling on us.
What's State Game Line Road, I'm pretty sure.
And what was this view?
This is not listed, but
oh, not listed as a view.
No, but yeah, I think we've got like 2.5 into Port Clinton, roughly.
Something Auburn.
Yeah.
Auburn Lookout.
It's not listed as a waypoint.
We just came down off this really steep descent. Whoo! That was a skating on marbles kind of scrambled down there, and there's a little train station down here. I think I see a bicycle over there, Buzz.
What?
Down there on the trail. Hamburg is, according to that sign, 3 miles this way. Sorry, Buzz. And AT goes this way. Right. This is Port Clinton. That's the fire company. And that's the post office. Oh, that's the post office right there. Okay. Barbershop is somewhere. The pavilion would have been like 3 blocks down that street. They have a caboose on top of a building. Or is the building under the caboose? There's Union House Bed and Breakfast. Kittens.
Which way is the barbershop? This way or that one?
Should have been right there. I I don't know. I'm horrible at navigating. Let me pull up the map. If y'all are in need of sugar and passing through Port Clinton, look no farther than the peanut shop. I thought there would just be peanuts. Oh my goodness, no. It is amazingly sugar in here. I mean, this is probably, I mean, there's some sodas too, Gatorade, you know, but any candy that you want. Multiple coated pretzels, just regular candy, some trail mix, nuts, chocolate covered stuff, put together things, jars and jars of it. You could do some serious damage up in here. Alright, now we're going to find the barber shop that they moved on us, so we know where they're at now. This is the barber shop in Port Clinton. It's also part of an antique shop. Day 100 for me. The largest Cabela's in the U.S. And I guess soon it'll be the Bass Pro. Biggest Bass Pro in the U.S.
Unless they want to keep them around.
Yeah, they'll probably keep us alive. They can pretend competition.
Use the right lane to take the I-70 East
Hello, this is day 100, the evening of day 100, and we are at Buzz's relative's house, Dr. Martin, and his daughter, Miss Anna, and wife,
Amy.
Dr. Amy. Yes, okay.
And
Anna. And we've heard from Buzz that his brother is like the foremost authority in Pennsylvania on ticks. So we're going to have a little discussion with Dr. Martin here for a minute about ticks and Lyme disease.
Hello.
All right. So first question about Anna. The first question. Okay. So ticks. Deer ticks is the ones to be careful for.
Absolutely.
We
right.
know that. Okay.
Right.
Another thing, briefly, in hiker layman terms, 24 hours, remove the tick by then, and why is the 24 hours important?
24 hours give and take. If it's 20 hours, I'd still be concerned.
Okay.
But less than that, not so much of a concern. Because the bacteria that cause Lyme disease are in the tick gut when they take the blood meal, when they take your blood.
Mm-hmm.
But those bacteria have to get out of the gut into the salivary glands because that tick is spitting into you while it's sucking your blood. And it takes 24 hours for the bacteria to be able to multiply in our gut, make it to the salivary glands, and get spit in. So it's not like a mosquito where the salivary glands are preloaded with whatever they're spitting into you.
Mm-hmm.
This actually is a biological process in the tick that the bacteria have to make it into her salivary gland and spit it into you. So it does take some time. It's a short-term bite, pull it out with some fine forceps and you're fine.
Okay. And something that I didn't know even existed until I got on the trail and we heard Buzz talking about it is that if you do suspect that you've had a tick on you for over 24 hours, over a day, and you are in fear of Lyme disease, there is a medication you can take that will 100% cancel the Lyme disease out, and that is.
I wouldn't say 100% for anything ever, um, but Lyme disease is very, very treatable at the early stages. The people who have difficulty with long-term chronic condition is when you didn't catch it early. If
Okay.
you can catch it early, you're gonna be fine. And so there's an antibiotic. It's a bacteria, so it responds very well to an antibiotic. The antibiotic is called doxycycline. And any place where the ticks have an infection rate of more than about 20% of the ticks out there are infected with the bacteria that cause Lyme, generally, as a rule of thumb, the idea is to prescribe the doxycycline without even testing for the presence of Lyme or testing the tick. If you have a 1 in 5 chance of getting Lyme disease from a tick bite, if the tick bite's been more than 24 hours, generally you'll be prescribed doxycycline. And that is very effective. It's well tolerated in adults, and that's how you prevent the long-term consequences of Lyme disease.
Okay. So, still a great idea to treat clothing and gear with permethrin, and try to not walk through the tall brushes and roll around in leaves. And
yeah, so ticks, they don't come from trees down; they go up you, and so you're gonna want to check yourself as close as you can on the trail. I know it's hard, but your belly button, behind your ears, your scalp, armpits, behind the knees, sneaky places where the sun don't shine is where the ticks like to be. But they started low. So if your socks and shoes have been treated, that is your best bet. Permethrin is your best bet too. Not only is it an insecticide, that's what most people know of it as an insecticide, but it's also repellent. They hate the smell of it. So if you can stop them getting on your feet and crawling up, your chances of being bitten are much, much lower.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Martin, for the hiker lowdown on how to deal with ticks, and or just what the ticks was about. Now, if you have a tick on you, you pulled it out. Maybe you don't have that dose of medicine, and you're thinking you may or may not have Lyme disease. What are we looking for? Like,
what are we looking for?
What are the symptoms that
Right.
says, hey, I need to go
Right.
talk to a doctor?
So and you really do, because you can recover from the initial symptoms and then not know anything is up until months later, when you start to show up with arthritis and you're wondering, why am I, I've never had arthritis before and suddenly I have arthritis and I have no energy. Why is that? And a lot of the time it's Lyme disease. But any neurological thing, if you feel like you're in a fog more than usual, or you feel that there's vision problems or hearing problems, anything neurological, see a doctor immediately. If you're feeling like you have the flu and it's not flu season, see a doctor immediately. The other thing is any kind of strange rash. It doesn't have to be a bullseye rash. You don't have to see a bullseye rash, but a rash that starts small and grows bigger, and it can be more than one. That is a very, very strong signal.
At the site of the bite, or
not
anywhere?
necessarily. Sometimes at the site of the bite, but what the bacteria can do is come in and then move to other places and then move out from there.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's a skin infection that moves out, and so if you see a rash that's small and then gets bigger, definitely don't mess around with that, because that's a very high likelihood. Remember, about 1 in 5 of these ticks. Now the ticks that are out right now are about the size of a poppy seed. If one was sitting on a bagel, you would not notice it. They're really tiny. They're not the big ticks that you've been seeing so far.
Mm-hmm.
The big ticks that you've been seeing so far are the adults. But pretty soon, the nymphs are around, and they are really tiny, about the size of a poppy seed. And so that's where you're getting the Lyme disease because you have no idea that they bit you. And you may not see the rash because it might be on your back. So a lot of people think if you don't have the rash, you're not going to get Lyme disease. Well, you may not see the rash, and the rash doesn't always happen. So any kind of sudden onset of the flu or sudden set of half your face being paralyzed all of a sudden, it happens, get medical attention. Because Lyme disease is very treatable early on, and the terrible things that you hear about are for more long-term situations where you didn't nip it in the bud.
Okay. Well, again, thank you, Dr. Martin, for that insight, and I'm sure hikers learned something today because I did.
Well, make sure you have your fine forceps too, because they're invaluable. All of the tricks about cigarettes and different chemicals and burning them out, you actually don't want to do that because you don't want them to regurgitate whatever they may have in their system into you. So
yeah, just uploaded that video today of Buzz with his tick, and someone put a comment on that video that I'd never had seen before. They said if you put hand sanitizer, a glob of that on the tick, after a minute or two, it'll back out and try to get away from the hand sanitizer.
I would much rather do the forceps.
Just
the hand sanitizer might make them expel anything that's in them into you. So if it's a dog tick and you don't have a dog tick on you, that's fine. But a deer tick, if you can find somebody with some forceps, or if you can invest in some small forceps, it's worth the wait. Do the forcep thing.
Yeah. Buzz carried his for all these days and finally used them.
Well, he drilled holes in his to make them lighter, so that really helped.
Ultralight.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
All right, and now we're going to start on this ice cream challenge.
Ooh, that's the good part.
Yeah, starting with some black cherry, then we're going to move to just chocolate vanilla. All right, we are not going to eat ice cream all night long. All right, so here is the video editing step one more time. The micro SD card out of the GoPro into the adapter, into the dongle. Stick that into the bottom of the iPhone. And you start seeing clips. And these are all the clips that I've recorded. This video card was from the Shenandoahs. And you just say, you know, this one, 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 this one. And then you hit import. And after you hit import, it, you know, takes a little while, thinks about that one, done. Takes a little while, thinks about that one, done. You know, and it just moves them onto the phone. And then you get this once the card's out. So now they're on the phone. See how much storage I got here. I'm using up 40. I have 19 left. Okay. So from there, you go to iMovie. You say new movie. And we're taking yesterday's videos, which will be this one, and this one. And that's 3 items. You hit create movie. And there it is. Going backwards. The whole 8 minutes of what I filmed yesterday. And I add photo. Come on, hit the button. That in there. Hello.
So about 7:30 when I got out of here, did I get on the trail about 8 o'clock something?
That will
That sound
work.
good?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll see you in the morning. Got everything you need?
I got everything except hand sanitizer. For some reason, I didn't grab that.
Okay.
I think we might find a place along the way
Yeah.
that will have a little hand sanitizer.
If not, I'm not taking. I have 3/4 of one, and I'm not taking it home because you can't take it home yet.
Mm.
So I'll give you that offline. It's like 3/4 of one.
All right, that'll work to one gap at least. I know
Yeah,
I can
I'll
find
do
one.
that. And I got a couple tunas you can have.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll probably get up. Let's see, we leave at 7:30. Probably about 7ish, 6:45, 7, in around there. Okay, we'll see. I'm gonna crash.
Yep. And then I just, usually I'm watching this, listening to it, annotating at the bottom where, I don't know what a word is, and I'll look it up later. All the way through until I get to the end. And then I'll put in that photo again. Center it up. And then put in, however many miles it was. Almost 2 to go. But, no. And that's basically how I do my editing. It doesn't take long, it's not hard.